Are there orphan words in English vocabulary? Imagine discovering a word that feels like a lone island, with no other words sharing its roots. That's what we call an orphan word. These words are like the original seeds from which many other words grow. Over time, some orphan words have become rare or even forgotten. They stand alone, but their roots live on in more common words. For example, the word gruntle once meant to be pleased or content. Today it is rarely used by itself. But it gave birth to disgruntle, which means to be unhappy or dissatisfied. The root gruntle is like a small, forgotten piece of language history. Another example is kempt, which means well-groomed. It is seldom used today, but it is the root of enkempt, meaning messy or untidy. There is also ruth, a word that used to mean compassion or pity. Now you mostly see it in the word ruthless, which means lacking compassion. The root ruth is like a hidden piece of language that still influences how we understand words. And then there is were, which survives mainly in werewolf, a creature from stories. Were used to be a common word meaning a man or person, but now it mostly appears in these special words. These orphan words are part of what makes English interesting. They connect to the idea of word families, which are groups of words sharing a common root. When you learn about orphan words, you see how words change over time. They show us how language evolves and how roots can turn into many different words. Knowing about orphan words helps us understand the history behind the words we use every day. It also helps us see how words are built. For example, understanding that ruth means pity helps us see why ruthless means without pity. Using these roots in sentences can make our language richer. Even though some orphan words are rarely used now, they still shape the words we see in books, stories, and conversations. Recognizing them gives us a peek into the past and a better grasp of how words are connected. So, yes, there are orphan words in English vocabulary, and they tell us stories about the roots of our language.